Hello, friends. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I've been busy. Had a busy morning. Had a busy afternoon. Now I'm recording. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world. A lot going on in our country. A lot of energetic shifts. It actually honestly feels kind of good. The shift. I don't feel like I said, the suspension that I was experiencing, and also that we have been experiencing, I feel like it has ended. So anything could happen. So many things could happen, but let's see what happens. Okay. This is Q&A, first of all, where you ask questions and I try to answer them. Sorry, I just had a brain freeze for like 5 seconds, but anyway, you guys asked some good questions that I will try to answer to the best of my ability. Good variety of questions. I believe I only chose about 10 or 11 questions. Hang on, let me see. Let's see how many I chose. There's 12 questions. Okay. So 12 questions. Hopefully I can answer all of them for you guys. Before we begin, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only, informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments. Okay. If you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video and you'll see the link there. Or I can send you the link by you emailing me at moonlightergy15@gmail.com. Okay. All right. Before we start, I want to actually, it's over here. Hold on. I want to share some good news. A young Democrat, a young black man, only 24 years old, won a landslide election in South Carolina. It was a special election that he won. He beat out Republican Bill Oden. It was in a landslide, okay? He won a seat in the South Carolina House of Representatives, okay? 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐷. He defeated Bill Oden, and hopefully he can get a lot of work done. He secured over 70% of votes. He won more than 70% of the 3,600 votes that was cast on Tuesday. So that's pretty huge. It was very surprising to a lot of people. It doesn't change the supermajority Republicans have in South Carolina. But that was an important victory. Okay. They have 36 seats in the chamber, Democrats. And it's a small victory, but it's very poignant and important because he's only 24 years old and he's a black man. Okay. So hopefully it's in District 50. And people voted for him. The people voted him in. So hopefully that's a good upturn. Hopefully he can get the work that he wants to get done there. And I wish him luck. So there's some good news. There's some good news there. All right, let's start. Let us jump in. Okay. All right, let's see. Question 1. Question number 1 is from Gray Griffin 2725. Actually, 2 people asked me this question. Gray Griffin 2725 and Observation 11. So Gray Griffin asked, will the investigation into election fraud in Rockland County, New York, where Kamala received 0 votes, lead to more investigations? Observation 11 asked, in regards to the court case in Rockland County led by Smart, is this the start of more public reevaluation of election interference? And if so, are Kamala and her team behind it? Okay. So basically, Smart, I think they're called Smart Election. I could be wrong, but they are a group of people, analysts, who brought up a lawsuit for further investigation into the 2024 election. And what they are saying is it's numerically impossible for the amount of votes that Donald Trump received. That is based off of one of the reasons, based off of the 2020 election. So it's highly doubtful that he won all of those votes, perhaps even won that part of that district. I think it's 4 towns that they are questioning, and the Supreme Court there ruled that the investigation can proceed. So let's ask the question. My guides, they say things in the beginning of this, or rather a long time ago. One of the things that I was constantly told is that this will be very subtle if this was to come out, when this does come out. And not a lot of people are talking about this, but let's see. Let's see. I'm just gearing up to get ready to ask this question. I'm letting the energy build up. Okay. First of all, I think we have to figure out if the investigation will lead to anything first. Okay? Will the investigation regarding election discrepancies in Rockland County find anything? Okay, clear the center, please. Will it find any actual discrepancies? Will it find any actual discrepancies? Okay, swinging a hard yes. Okay, clear the center. It feels like a strong yes, quite frankly. All right, now, will this investigation lead to more investigations regarding the election? Will this investigation lead to more investigations regarding the 2024 election? Just saying yes. Clear the center. Is this investigation, what can I ask? How can I ask this? Is Kamala Harris aware of this investigation? Is Kamala Harris aware of this investigation? She's saying yes. Okay, clear center. Is Kamala Harris behind this investigation? Saying no. Okay. All right. And it's not just the presidential seat that they are questioning. So, yes, it will lead to other investigations. It does feel like a strong yes. It doesn't feel like a maybe. I mean, it would have said maybe, but when I do, now I'm beginning to understand this pendulum, because when I do the pendulum, the energy, the answers my guides give me, the energy itself it's a bit tricky. You have to really discern what they're saying yes to. You have to be very mindful, at least for me, you have to be very mindful and aware of, you have to expand on it and explore with your intuition what the swing is. Because now I've been doing this enough now to really get a hand on it and understand. If something says yes, I'll put my energy into it and really use my intuition to explore what the answer is. Sometimes it's like, it's saying yes, but it feels not like a strong yes, or it feels more like yes is a possibility or perhaps a maybe. Okay? But it's felt like a strong yes to this leading to other investigations. I don't sense Kamala is behind it. I do sense she is aware of it, and I sense that in the energy. Okay. Yes, it will start. Well, I didn't really ask that. Let's see. Specifically. Is this the start? Is this lawsuit the start? Is this lawsuit and investigation the start of more public reevaluation of election interference? It's saying yes. Swinging a hard yes. And it feels, the energy feels very much like a yes. It's swinging even harder. Okay. This feels very important, honestly. It feels important. This feels interesting, actually. I just want to pull a card or two. What am I asking? Show me what this will lead to. Can you show me, please? Moon is on the bottom. Eight of Cups. Healing. Eight of Cups is a card of healing, a card of walking away into something better, perhaps. Walking away into something better out of something toxic, you know, but you don't quite know where you're going, what you're walking into, but you know it'll be okay. Nine of Pentacles. I just heard finding boats. That's what I heard. Stability and security for the long term. What it could lead to, perhaps. We'll see. King of Swords. Truth. That's it. Wading through the truth, finding the truth. Fairness, you know. Could lead to fairness. Queen of Swords, wow. Page of Cups always comes up with this situation. No matter what I'm talking about, if it relates to this situation, Page of Cups comes out, and the Empress is here. What it could lead to. There's some strong energy. You know, these are minor cards. Minus, this is the major card that, you know, is the long term, what it could lead to, the Empress. You know, the feminine energy. That's really cool. That's really cool, actually. With the Page of Cups there next to it. That's interesting. The King and the Queen of Swords. This sort of truth, you know, this sort of analyzing information, being able to see what is true and what isn't. Clarity. It could lead to clarity. King and Queen of Swords, full-time, big-time clarity. Oh. And the Empress there. Feminine energy. Balance. Things that you discarded, or plans, or, you know, ideas, new creation, rebirth, you know, starting over, something new. That's cool. Very cool. That's a, you know, if that can come from it, that I'll take that. I'll take the King and Queen of Swords. I'll take the Empress as a major card for the long term. You know, this is Page of Cups, renewal, intuition, exploring your inner self. That's a good outcome. That's pretty huge. We'll see what happens. It feels strong, the energy. It feels very important. Sometimes you guys ask me things about certain things that come out, you know, that doesn't feel, I could look now, or I could feel it, and I'm like, well, that's not it. That doesn't feel important, or it doesn't, you know, there's no movement there, you know. Okay. All right, next question. Number 2 is from Tibbet Taylor. What will happen with Ukraine, with the Ukraine war, now that they have destroyed major Russian military assets? They're really good. They're really haven't read on Ukraine in a few, you know, in a while. I remember reading on I think I did 3 readings on them, and it's shown overall that they'll be okay. What will happen with Ukraine? With the Ukraine-Russian war, now that they have destroyed And they've been doing that for a couple of, this is the second or third week. And I remember reading up on it and seeing that they were relentless in their attacks, Ukraine, against pretty victory. 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands. Look at that. Victory. Celebration, people supporting you. Your reputation came up upright, came out upright. Let's see, 2 more. Seven of Wands on the bottom. 7 of Cups. More options, more opportunities to choose from. They will have the upper hand, or they have the upper hand. They will be the ones in control. 2 of Swords. Interesting. You have 2 of Swords and the 7 of Cups. Perhaps unsure of where to choose. Perhaps unsure of discernment. Let's see, one more. 10 of Wands. I could feel that it's going to be difficult. A difficult road to victory. Let me get a clarifier for the 10 of Wands and 2 of Swords. Why will it be difficult? What is the barrier? You know, but an end nonetheless. An end to burdens. 10 of Wands too represent. They're right at the end. They're right at the end, but there's a barrier there. Difficulty. Perhaps something they're not seeing yet. What's the barrier? Six of Swords is on the bottom. 10 of Swords. You have the 10 of Swords. You have the 10 of Wands. Betrayal, perhaps. You know, but they're 2 10s, so it's at the end, but it'll be rough. And the Sun, they'll be okay. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. The Sun is here. You know, victorious. 2 10s is... 10 of Swords is painful ending. It's, you know, it could be disappointment or betrayal, but in the 10 of Wands is here, you know, burdensome. Yes, they're in the war, but it's at its end. This is what this is saying. But there's something, you know, it's not a big thing. It's not a big impediment with the 2 of Swords here, though. You know, something related to this energy with the 7 of Cups. Choosing something, having opportunities. Perhaps a treaty, or I don't know about a treaty. I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe some sort of interference by something or someone. I don't know. Something they may not be able to see, but ultimately they'll be fine with the Sun here. They'll be victorious. Healing, harmony, balance being brought back. Things being brought out into the light. So you come from this confusion. You know, it's hard fought, it's hard won. These 2 10s here is signaling an end to it. An end to many things. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Feels very strong. Yeah, it's almost done for them. They're almost at the end. Number 3, 𝐀𝐬𝐵 1292. Is it true? Is it true that the current ascension process will bring an end to the karmic debt wheel? Man, I would say yes, but there are many karmic wheels. We have many. There are multiple. At least, I don't know if everyone believes that, but that's when I looked at this question, I was like, I said out loud, there are many. So, all of them? No, because there are many. I believe there are many. One of them, perhaps, yeah. I think also, I think it depends on many factors. Humankind, humankind, free will, how we respond, how, our behavior. I like that question though. Let's see what my guides say. What y'all think? Let's see. Is there only one karmic debt wheel in existence? Saying no. Someone is saying because there are multiple lessons. There are multiple, it's like there's so many lessons to be learned by so many different people. Well, at least one karmic will be paid. Yes. But never fully. I don't think so. I just don't feel that. I don't, And I'm not trying to be negative, but I just in terms of I know when you say in terms of an ascension, I know what you mean by that. Well, would our ascension be fully complete? I don't, there's something all of us are getting closer to globally. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Connie. Okay, number 4. Lucky Lady 57. Will Vance ever be president, and what will happen to him? I keep forgetting about J.D. Vance. Y'all remind me that he exists. He's so unimportant in all of this. I'm being honest with that. It's not because I don't like him, but his energy is not important. Anything's possible. I'm not making a prediction in terms of, yes, he'll be president. Let's see what the energy says. But I don't know astrology. I don't look, I don't study it. I probably maybe should. But sometimes I could just, and I'm not saying this arrogantly. Sometimes, a lot of times I could be in someone's energy and look at them or read their energy, and he's not meant for that. He has a lot to learn. He's not meant for that kind of importance. And he knows that. Will J.D. Vance ever be president of the United States of America? Will J.D. Vance ever be president of the United States of America? Clear the center. Let's see. I'm going to ask, see what, not to say that he's not, but is J.D. Vance the vice president of the United States currently? Is J.D. Vance the vice president of the United States? It's swinging a very weak yes. This is what I'm saying. A very, very weak yes. He's not a factor. He's not a player. He's not, his energy is not strong. He's not a leader. He doesn't have power. That's not his purpose. And so the process tells you that, if Donald Trump, if he is, frauded or suddenly dies, or, would they let him move? That's what the process says. Yes, that would happen. Yes. That I don't think that will happen. It will be something. The process won't matter. It'll be crazy. It's just not in his wheelhouse. Okay. Anyway, next, number 5. I hope that answered your question. Number 5, Flashy Smurf. When will Yeshua return to earth? You mean Jesus? I know that's Hebrew. You mean Christ. Here's the thing, Flashy Smurf. I cannot tell you that because I don't. You look, my dad always says, I've seen times. He is Pentecostal, Baptist. My grandfather, my wonderful grandfather, was a pastor. He had a master's degree in theology. He was it. And so, my dad always says, well, this is the end time, so. And I say, no, it's not. But anyway, that's a whole other topic. Jesus Christ returning. I mean, sometimes I think about that, and I'm like, yeah, that has to. When I see the terribleness, I'm like, yeah, something needs to happen. That wouldn't be the worst thing, would it? But I feel like that's not for, I could channel him and ask him, I don't know, but I feel like I know in my spirit that's not for us to know when. People say they know. People, I don't want to know. Honestly. I do think about what it would be like if he did, and I don't think he would be received well, quite honestly, because of humans. Throw a little levity in. Could you imagine him on Twitter? They would. Oh, they, people, but they use Jesus Christ as like these people who want to harm others, and see people, quite frankly, unalived and not existing. They use him as the mascot, I'll say, but they wouldn't like him because of what he believed, really, if they really studied him and who he was. And man, what he believed, can you imagine if he was like, I'm going to run for president? They would roast him. But in terms of him returning, I don't know. I don't. Things have always been terrible, and that that is my dad's viewpoint. Is that he with the end times, because of technology and the weather and all of those things, and I'm just like, well, this is what humans are causing. Or do we need to ask for saving for that to happen? I don't know. I'm not sure. We don't need to know everything. Just know, if you believe that he will, return to earth. I think there's a lot of factors in it though, but in terms of us really knowing, I'm not sure that's something I'm allowed to know. Okay, number 6. Giggly Aaron. How did you learn to discern intuition from anxiety? Great question. I sometimes know the anxiety I experience is my intuition. But I don't think that's what you're asking. When you feel anxious, you have to, one, decide, okay, how can I reduce my anxiety? And if I need to reduce my anxiety, do I need to know? You could explore why you feel anxious. What is the anxiety connected to? So sometimes with me, I'll be like, oh, something's going to happen, and that will cause me anxiety. I will feel anxious because I know something is going to happen. And how do I discern that, oh, this is just me being anxious? My intuition. I don't even know how to explain it. If I have premonitions, a lot of times through my dreams, I can often discern, oh yeah, that was a dream. That wasn't something that's going to happen. Or I can, I know that was a premonition. That was my intuition telling me. But either way, the anxiety just rolls on up, So it's more, I think, important to figure out how to reduce the feeling of anxiety than try to discern the one from the other. Once you feel calm enough, then you could explore, why did I feel anxious? Or, you have to go through the steps. Have I been feeling stressed? Have I been thinking about something? Have I been obsessing about something? Or what's going on in my life that's bringing on these feelings? Okay. Not all anxiety is bad, and it's really about trust. It's really about, if you're someone who typically experiences anxiety, you have to know how to explore it. Expose yourself to it, Sometimes just observe it. What are you anxious about? Is this an impending doom feeling, or do you sense that something is happening? And there goes you hear those those alarms. I live next to a fire station. I hope I answered your question. It's a bit tricky. But you just know. I'll ask myself, was that just a dream? I'll know now, especially now. I'll be like, oh, that was just a dream. That's, that wasn't a warning, or that wasn't, premonition. It was just a silly dream. But it still causes anxiety, and you more so focus on, okay, like I need to calm down. Okay? All right. With your intuition, there needs to be calmness for you to listen to it. So any anxiety that enters into the space, you need to deal with that. I drink tea, I put on, meditative mind on YouTube, some frequencies, so I could calm down. It could be energies, other energies that aren't your own if you are a sensitive person, So all of the things you have to go through the checklist. This my energy? Why am I feeling this way? What do I need? Okay, and even that was using your intuition to deal with the anxiety. Anxiety is terrible. Okay, number 7. I hope I just wasn't blabbing. Number 7. 7G Kampa. Hi, Kimberly. Hello. Was the Poland election rigged? And if so, will they have a recount? As a favored Putin winner won. I don't think the people of Poland voted for a favored Putin candidate. I thought they didn't. What happened? That surprised me when I saw that. Are people upset? Let's see. Let's explore. I'm gonna pull cards first. Let's pull first. Tell me about the Polish election, election in Poland. Is it on the up and up? Was there fraud? Is it suspicious? Please show me. I'm going to do this first before using a pendulum. I also live near church, if you hear those bells. Sorry if I'm shuffling too long. It doesn't feel right yet. Okay. 9 of Cups. Interesting. King of Cups. Lot of Cups. 4 of Wands. This isn't... These are wrong, because this is from another pull. I'm going to use another deck. That's why I didn't feel right. Tell me about Poland's elections. I remember reading about it, and they were saying the other guy was in a, the prospects looked good for him. I remember reading that. What a shame. But something also was telling me, well, we'll see what the tower is there. Wow, the tower flipped right out. We'll see what the other cards that are trying to jump out of the tower. Something strange, shocking, surprising to me. It feels both surprising and not surprising. You know what I mean? Something weird. Let's see what the other cards say. What is that? Just the Hangman. Let me fix these. These are all upside down because I got that weird. Seven of Swords, yeah, it was stolen. I knew that was there. It felt weird. It felt weird. Yeah, something weird happened. Seven of Swords is a card of thievery. Ace of Pentacles. Tower, Seven of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. My hand is itching. A Knight of Wands. Ace of Wands. The Hermit. Yeah, something weird happened. Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Not wanting to let go. The Hermit. Card of roguery, dissonance, corruption. Yeah, Ace of Wands. People are shocked that happened. The Tower is the biggest card here. And the Hermit. It sort of affirms, The Hermit also represents... it represents introspection, what path you're going to take. But it also is a card of roguery, dissonance, corruption, things being done in the dark, things you shouldn't be doing. That is a little scary. So this is the shock, the Tower, right? Seven of Swords is a card of doing things in secret, thievery, stealing, lying, cheating. Okay? Planning something in secret strategically, but it's sort of a wobbly. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is a opportunity for expansion, growth, but it feels like money. Let me see. Let me get a there's a card here that I think might come up, but we'll see. Eight of Wands. Someone, you know, it's Eight of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Is this a new winner? Is he already in office? Was he already, you know what I mean? I don't know. Hold on, I'll check. There's something weird. Justice is on the bottom. High Priestess, secrets. With the the Ace of Pentacles. Somebody paid someone. Quite honestly, that's what I'm seeing. They wanted this. Okay? They wanted this. Who? Let's see. Who? Is it president? Do they have presidents in Poland? I ain't gonna lie that I don't know. Look, that's what came up. He's the 6th president of Poland. Only 6 presidents? Wait. Okay. Okay, well, something weird happened. Yes. Yep. And it has to do with secrets. It has to do with someone pushing real hard for that man to win. Has to do with money. It's shocking. I'm very surprised. I remember saying out loud when I was talking about, you know, it's having a reverse effect and people are voting in more left-leaning politicians. And I mentioned Poland out loud. I said it out loud. Poland. Let's see. We'll see. You know, did the current president-elect win the Poland election legally? Did he win the Polish election? Saying no. Saying no. Clear center. Will this election be challenged? Will this election be challenged? Will this election be just saying maybe? If I felt a maybe. Maybe. I feel like it's too early to tell how the people will respond because a lot of people are shocked. This may be devastating for a lot of people. This card jumped out first. So I'm not sure, you know, the high priest, we have 3 major cards here with this situation. They did it methodically with the Eight of Pentacles. They really planned. And part of me kind of also feels like, I don't know, there's something in Poland's energy that feels maybe conservative. Unless he's not going to go anywhere. That's what I'm feeling. I feel a change there in that country. I'm not sure if the people who did not vote for him will demand this be looked into, but no, he didn't win. It's very suspicious, and it feels like he did, you know, in fact cheat, but I'm not sure if that will change anything. It doesn't feel like it for now, at least. It just feels like right now it feels like the energy for Poland is gonna, I don't know, or if it's already conservative, just feels that way. But I'm very surprised. we'll see what happens. It's too early to tell, to give a definitive. But yes, to answer your question, something weird happened. They did cheat. Okay. At Jimmy, number 8. Will Elon expose Trump? Oh, Elon Musk, he's going through a lot of things, isn't he? He's going through so much. He's not okay. That man. Would he expose Trump? I know he is at odds with Donald Trump because the stuff he wanted in that bill is not there. Also, there's something in the bill that, if I can't remember the name of that, the part of the, it's a bunch of numbers and letters, but there's something I want you guys to be aware of in that bill, if you aren't already, that will give Donald Trump full immunity to do whatever he wants inside that bill. It's buried in there. It's buried in there. Anyway, he's upset, Elon Musk, because there are things that he wanted inside the bill that is not in the bill. And now he's saying, oh, this is going to cause more money. You don't care about that. You could give money to America if you're so worried about a deficit. And if you taxed the rich, we wouldn't have that $1 trillion added deficit to this bill they're trying to pass. Okay? But let's see. Will he expose Donald Trump? Let's see how he feels about this man. He put all... Oh, card just... We see that? Card just flew out. He put all his everything into 8 of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. I literally just said that before I flipped the card over, that he put his all into ensuring his victory, Donald Trump's victory. He put a lot into it. He put a lot of himself into it. But he doesn't, I don't even have to pull cards. I've been in this man's energy so much. He doesn't, he feels like he didn't get anything back from it. He got a black eye. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. Why am I blanking on 8 of Cups? 7 of Cups. 8 of Cups. What the freak does it look like? Oh yeah, the 8 of Cups is... 8 of Cups is the walking away. All those cups. Right? It's deciding to walk away from something. You're asking, should I stay or should I go? Is it worth it? Okay. Letting go. And you have the 6 of Cups. It's about the past. Interesting. His energy, Elon, feels very regretful. Good. Should have stayed in your little corner. But you couldn't. Empress is there. King of Cups. The way he feels about Donald Trump is very emotional. It's very emotional. 9 of Pentacles. And what he's saying is, I've done so much. I've enabled you. His 9 of Pentacles is about enabling as well in terms of relationships and dynamics. I've done so much for you. Donald, and my company is failing, not doing well. Temperance. Look. Emotions. He feels very emotional about Donald Trump. And he's saying, I did so much. Judgments? You have to take responsibility. He is upset that he put so much on the line, and now here he is. Even worse off. He's going to do a lot of stuff emotionally. Knight of Pentacles, Strength, Six of Wands, King of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. Show me some more. Star in reverse. Will he turn on Donald Trump? It feels very emotional, regretful. Feels out of control, you know. There's a lot of he wants to walk away from it. I don't think he'll turn on Donald Trump though, but let's see. Will Elon turn on Donald Trump? Will Elon Musk turn on Donald Trump? Will he turn on him? Will Elon Musk turn on Donald Trump? Will he turn on him? It says maybe. It says maybe. I feel that. That's true. Maybe. He's still going to jail, Elon Musk. That will be his ending. I still see that. Cameras flashing. Him dressed in the gray, the gray workout clothes. Maybe. I still see that vision. When it will happen, I couldn't tell you, but it's clear. Would he turn on Donald Trump? Show me. He feels very emotional about this, his, in terms of his dynamic. And it does feel like there's some regrets there. He's doing a lot of partying. Lots of drinking. He feels regret that he got involved. It wasn't what he thought it would be. Eight of Wands in reverse. Will he turn on him? That came up in reverse. Eight of Wands is, things happening quickly, progression, but if it's in reverse, there's perhaps a lack of progression. Honestly, he doesn't even feel, his energy feels like he don't even know where he is. Quite honestly, I haven't read his energy in a long time. He feels confused. He feels Towers on the bottom. Towers on the bottom. Seven of Swords. Knight of Wands. Four of Wands. Ten of Wands. Knight of Wands. Four of Wands. Ten of Wands. Ten of Swords. Ten of Wands and Ten of Swords. Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords. I mean, he's thinking about it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not out of the realm of possibility. The answer is maybe. Strong maybe. Yeah. Ten of Swords. He's not happy, I can tell you that. He's very disappointed. Ten of Wands is burdensome. He wants to walk away. He wants it. Six of Cups in the other. It feels like he's just looking back like, I gotta get out of here. He's doing a lot of partying, though. Avoidance, perhaps. You know, his life is in shambles. His life is in shambles. Both his personal life and his work life. Oh well. Not my problem. Number 9. Number 9 is, I'm sorry, number 8 was Jimmy. Hello, Jimmy. Number 9 is Kim Finley, F3I. Could you ask if Trent's health is currently okay? He didn't work Monday or Tuesday. Did he work today? Tell me about Donald Trump's health. He looks sickly. I saw an image of him on Blue Sky that I try to avoid. I try to avoid him at all costs. He's, you know. What's going on with Donald Trump's health? What is this? The Emperor. Okay, let's see what else they have to say about the Emperor. All right. I'm trying to hurry up because we're over an hour. I don't want to keep you guys too long. The Hangman. The Emperor and the Hangman. You know, when it's in terms of health reading, emperors, you know, they have a vitality. They have good health, but the Hangman is there. The Hangman is there. Queen of Wands. Eight of Cups. Hold on, give me a second. I don't know what that. It's a lot of wands. A lot of wands here. Let me shuffle some more. If they come up again, I don't feel like those are. My shuffling is off today. You know, I don't even think this is his card. Let's see. If they come up again, those are his cards. But those were cards from just the other reading I just did. Donald Trump's health. You know, the Emperor typically they're strong and stable, with a strong focus on they take care of themselves, but the Hangman is there, so that denotes that may not be the case. You know, It's about seeking medical advice. The Emperor, taking a rest when needed. Perhaps that's why he took, he's an older man. So, the Hierophant. It's about the doctor, the Hierophant, when it comes to health readings. I knew that was there. And the Hangman is between them. Going to the doctor, getting checkups, traditional medicine, justice. So far we have 4 major cards here. Two of Swords. Feels like it feels like trying to figure something out, going to the doctor, taking tests, but then the Two of Swords is here and perhaps can't find what's wrong. There's delays in something in terms of his health. Maybe he slowed down, the Hangman there. Feels mysterious. It's about, changing your lifestyle with the Hangman, because Hangman is about change perspective. A delay in something, perhaps his strength, vitality, what the Emperor in terms of health represents, but the Hangman is here. You have to change how you take care of yourself. You have to change your perspective on your lifestyle. And all those wands came out before, the Pentacles came out. What was it? Was it the 4 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles before I wanted to come out? Stubbornness, perhaps not being practical. Something perhaps trying to find a balance with his health. Doctor's trying to help him find a balance. With the Justice card here. That the Two of Swords is there. There's something. I mean, he's not he's not well. I've always said that. But there's something. All these cards want to come out. Again. The Sun in reverse. The Six of Cups. Learning from your past. It feels like they don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know. Give me an overall. The Chariot, does that? The Chariot in reverse came out. The Sun in reverse came out. This New Moon card. New beginning. I don't know. It looks like darkness to me. Six of Cups. The Chariot in reverse. Sun in reverse. Sun isn't a terrible card upright. But again, upright or in reverse. But it's really this is his card, comes out often, whether it's upright, ignoring his problems. And the Chariot is this health is out of control. Okay, that's what he's been getting checkups with the Hierophant here. Okay, and it feels like either they're saying you have to find a balance in your lifestyle. He's tired. Okay, the Emperor came out, but the Hangman is with it. There's there's delay in his strength, his vitality, because of his lifestyle, and he has to change it with the Hangman here, and find a balance in his approach to his swords. He doesn't know how, and it's there's no control here with the Chariot in reverse. And this is the Six of Cups. And this is something he's continuously being told, but he's ignoring it. Okay? So it's all major cards. There's long-term stuff, okay? For the most part. But they're saying his health isn't the best. But he's being, it feels like he's getting tests done. But he's not taking in what they're recommending. To take care of yourself, you have to change your lifestyle. You probably shouldn't be president because you cheated. But outside of that, you're incredibly old. So, I shouldn't say that, but when you get up in age, there are people his age that have a lot of vitality. That are just, they have a spring in their step because they take care of themselves through their lifestyle. Okay, will Musk publicly admit to election stealing? This is number 10. Rhonda R 8443. Will Elon Musk admit to election fraud publicly? No. Clear the center. Has Elon Musk admitted to election fraud privately? No. Nope. No. Okay. Number 11. If I'm hearing that we are living in a time where the world, I'm sorry, this is Ellen 1231. I'm hearing that we are living in a time where the world needs to break down old systems of government and social constructs in order for us to ascend, quote unquote, or become a world where we realize we are all one and there isn't so much division and inequality. What will it take for this to happen? Will our government be completely destroyed, or will it be natural disasters and loss of life? Give me one card to guide me in this answer. It's a very deep life question. Ellen. Okay, this flew out. The sun. Okay. I asked for one card to guide me, and I got the sun. We learn through our lessons and patterns. And so, as human beings, when you look back on human history, the same things have been happening over and over. And there are some places that have taken responsibility. But then you have those who still breathe life into the terribleness because I don't know, are they a reincarnation? I have no idea. Or they want to hold on to these ideologies. I do believe that when I'm able to zoom, sometimes I'll be like, man, this world, I'll question if we are lost. And I know the answer is no, because there's an other side to us. But I think the problem, we are different. We are, at our core, sure, we're the same, but we are also different. And it's not realizing that we're the same. I think we have to realize our differences, understand our differences. I think there are some of us who have to do the work more than others, quite frankly. I think our government, I think the main problem is how we communicate and connect to one another. I think social media has to go away. And I know that sounds extreme. And I'm looking at it on a human scale, like a human eye right now. But I just don't see the benefit. I know it has a lot of benefits. I know it has helped people connect. I know it gets messages out. I know all that. But I don't think it's serving. I think it's served its purpose, and it is beyond what it just needs to go. We have to connect face to face. We connect and talk to each other. We have to stop sharing doom things. We have to share. I honestly think that is the problem. Part of the problem, But in terms of, is it going to be natural disasters? We're already going through that. It's happening. All the things you listed has happened. It's currently happening. Okay, so, I think it's just so hard to answer. Well, not really, but in order for something new to come, old systems must be destroyed, or it's hard to say because it is scary, but all the things that let's look at just the United States. All of the things that are currently happening is awful, terrible, and people are saying, "Oh, this is so concerning," but not doing much about it, or people normalizing it. And I think we normalize it just through our reactions, just through, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. I can't tell you, will our government be completely destroyed? In what way would you? What I do see, I can't speak for destruction. I don't think that would happen necessarily. But what I do sense, what I do see is that the change will start with people breaking apart from the old system. Truly this time, really saying, no more. starting their own parties. I don't think the way America will look, let's say 20 years from now, is not going to look the same. I know that. But I'm not sure if destruction or destroyed or that will be the way it will happen. Our loss of life. People suffer, even it doesn't matter who's in the White House. I think what will happen is that we will go back to a simpler way of living. Not screaming into the void, not arguing with people on social media. It will be different in that way. We all need a reset. We have to reset ourselves. Okay? I hope that answered your question. I was saying a lot of things and I've been talking for a long time. Okay? Number 12, last question. Anna M 1138, can you read on if there is supposed to be a panel of ex-presidents and others to run this country once? No, that won't happen. No. Will there be a panel of ex-presidents once Donald Trump is gone? Will there be a panel? No. I did read on that. No, I don't see that. Why no? The answer was no. It doesn't feel like a strong no, though. It doesn't. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Are these all in reverse? No. Yeah. Three of Pentacles. In reverse. No panel. Four of Cups. The Sun. No. Things will be too unstable with that. I don't think that who would that be? Difficulties with teamwork, difficulties collaborating, achieving a goal, working together. Things will be too fractured for that to happen. No, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I see a lot of confusion. I see a lot of discourse. More than it is now. More confusion than it is now. That's all I see. I don't see beyond that. Okay? Alright guys, that's it. That's all I got for you. I'm going to eat dinner. I'm going to upload this video. And I will see you on Friday. Okay? I hope I answered all your questions. This was a little low-key. I liked your questions. Comment down, like the video, and I will see you on Friday. Bye.